OnePlus loves one-upping themselves every time they release a new device. Today we're going to take a look at the brand new OnePlus Pad 3. Now this is a tablet that not only embodies everything that we've seen before and all the new improvements that we've seen with the OnePlus 13 that came out earlier this year, but it's a bigger display, bigger device, bigger battery, better display, better processor, and better functionalities when it comes to AI and, of course, integration within the OnePlus ecosystem, for the lack of a better term. Also, we now actually have the ability of controlling our Macintosh or our MacBook directly from the OnePlus Pad 3. This is TK, and this is my review of the OnePlus Pad 3, the tablet to usher in 2025 for OnePlus, and of course complementing the existing series of devices from not only the brand new watch, the brand new devices, and of course now the brand new tablet. This is my review of the OnePlus Pad 3, and of course sharing with you guys what makes this so special. This is TK. Let's check it out. Like and subscribe, and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified whenever we have new videos for you on the channel. A huge thank you goes to OnePlus for sending me the package, the tablet itself, the OnePlus Smart Keyboard, as well as the new folio case, again, all made for the Pad 3, the Pad 3 itself, and last but not least is the OnePlus Stylo 2. For the most part, the same pen that we've had before, but now complementing an existing array of devices. Here we have it, the brand new OnePlus Pad 3. This one has a Poco pin connector for charging the keyboard. This is not obviously to charge the tablet itself. We have a 13 megapixel camera sensor in the back, complemented with an 8 megapixel camera on the front. Now they do also include the 80-watt charger that is in the box. So we have a USB-A, USB-C cable with the US style 80-watt charger, which supports SuperVOOC. So you can use this with your OnePlus 13 or with your OnePlus Pad 3 now. Alongside the larger display or the larger form factor at 13.2 inches, which is actually the largest tablet that OnePlus has put out to date, we also have a bigger battery, of course, because we're going to a 12,140 milliampere battery. Now, no wireless charging, as you can expect. This is a tablet. We have, again, as I mentioned, the Poco pin connectors on the bottom. This is how we interface with accessories, namely the keyboard that we're going to talk about. And of course, we have the nice, beautiful color that we have. So in the US, we pretty much have one color, the storm blue color that we're looking at right now, and it has 12 gigs of RAM with 256 gigs of internal storage. Other markets may have different colors, but as well as also different configurations when it comes to storage. Now on the left side, we have a pair of speakers. We have quad speakers on this, of course, a USB-C here for data and power transfer, as well as a headphone jack if you want to be able to use a pair of USB-C cables. On the bottom, we have pretty much a clean slate. There's nothing actually positioned. Let's go and give it a second to focus. Okay. Now on the bottom, pretty much a clean slate, nothing in there. Again, as I mentioned, the Poco pins are going to be the interactions or the interface that we use to accessories. And of course, on the opposite side, we have the power button and the two additional speakers that we have. Now on the top, we have a volume rocker positioned next to the microphone, one of the microphones that we have. And then right there, closer to the right side, we have the magnetic dock for our pen. Now we're able to connect it magnetically so that it doesn't fall. It definitely has a nice little resistance there. And it does charge it wirelessly, so there's no reason to be used. There's actually a reason why we don't have a USB-C port on here. So the pen needs the tablet for it to work. It's going to be pretty much the only way to use it. On the front, we have a beautiful new, larger 13.2-inch display. Now, this is an LCD panel, just to keep in mind. One of the nice things that I like about it is that it's rated to be at about 3.4K resolution, and it has the ability of going up to 144 Hertz. So not only are we getting a larger display, we are getting a brighter display. We're also getting a higher refresh rate display at 144 Hertz, which means better compatibility for gaming, but also fluidity in the UI as we're going to use it. You're going to definitely see here how fast the UI actually can work and give us that nice smooth refresh rate experience. A lot of AI functionalities built in here. We have the side launcher that's positioned on the side here. And one of my favorite features I'm going to start by now is I love using this feature or this tab when I'm listening or I'm reading articles. So an example would be here. Let's say I'm clicking on this article and I want to be able to read it, but I don't want to actually read the entire thing. There's an AI summary button here that goes through, reads the entire article for me, summarizes it, and gives me the bullet points. Straight up, straight to the point. Don't need to waste any time. Don't need to look at any ads. Just skip through, get it done, and then go from there. And if I want to copy it, I can transfer that content again, basically put it somewhere else, summary, share it, or save it to notes in case I want to look at it later. But what if I actually don't want to even read it? I want the system to read it for me. They have a nice functionality now that does the exact same thing. I'm going to go ahead and pause it purely because I don't want to get the overriding there. That gives you the same functionality. It scans the article, reads it to you. You're able to customize the language between, the audio between a male, female. And once it's playing, let's go ahead and reduce the volume here because I want to be able to give you guys that experience. You can actually close it, give it a go away, and let it go away. It sits on the bottom right side. So as you're working and doing your own thing on the tablet, the AI is still actually running and giving you that summary in a vocal experience. Now, the nice thing is this is a very much mirrored experience on what we get with the OnePlus 13, other OnePlus devices that have received the latest update to, Oxygen OS and all the AI features that we're going to cover today. So as I mentioned to you guys, this is the OnePlus Pad 3. The US model is OnePlus or OPD2415, 13.2-inch display in here. The front-facing camera is an 8-megapixel camera that's going to be positioned right there. 13-megapixel main sensor on the back. We have 12 gigs of RAM with the ability of expanding them within the internal RAM boost system. You can use some of the internal storage to leverage that. Very nice. Battery level, as we talked about, 12,140 milliampere, typical battery. And this guy is powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite. If I'm not mistaken, one of the first tablets to be released as a tablet running on the Snapdragon 8 Elite, which is definitely very nice. Of course, running Oxygen OS 15 with all of the AI functionalities on top of Android 15. So very nice and very customizable. All the different experiences that you have in here, you can log into your OnePlus account, connection, sharing, control, again, display configuration. And one of the nice things about it is the fact that this display now can go up to 144 Hertz, which is definitely appreciated whenever we want to be able to play those basically demanding games. You can leave it in auto detect, that'll give you a better battery life, but again, we're over 12,000 on this one, so there really there should be no problem allowing the battery to last us as long as we need. One thing to keep in mind though, just in case you want to know, the tablet itself isn't running in full performance mode all the time. It's running in balance mode, which allows it to manage what it's doing. You're able to hit the high performance mode directly within the gaming system or directly in here to be able to get the best performance. So in case you're rendering or using some applications, an example would be LumaFusion, CapCut, or something like that, and you want to get the full potential of the Snapdragon 8 Elite, that's how you get it. You can either customize it directly within the app, put it in, and change that directly within the actual batteries configuration. Very nice. And this should be able to run almost anything and everything that you have. One of the things we are going to talk about, obviously, is the accessories. We talked about the pen. This is definitely very, very nice. And the pen functionality is very straightforward. You can go into the notes, you can scribble as I did, which is not the best way to do it. And you can customize the experience. You just basically say TK, and then here. Of course, you definitely can see here, the pen can actually have touch sensitivity. I can go very thinner, very lighter. And last but not least, when we switch over here, we can definitely delete and start putting in different experiences that we want. You have the ability of customizing it. As soon as you dock it to the top part of your tablet, you'll see a nice little indication here on the top right or the top telling you what the battery percentage is of that battery. I don't want to go too far before talking a little bit about the AI functionalities that we have in here. Now, I did a short recording here. This is an audio recording that I recorded directly onto the tablet. And what I love about it is you're not only able to do it when you're outdoors and you're basically using your tablet, you're able to summarize that experience and get the bullet points out of it. So it not only listened to my entire chat, but again, kept the audio recording and gave me the bullet point, testing the recorder application, discussing the AI functionality, discussing the new tablet features, and mentioning tablet accessories, because that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, there are some AI functions in here directly within the Notes application to customize, polish, shorten, elaborate, or of course, give us better experiences. But let's go ahead and go with the elaborate function. It took my points, it's going to customize that experience and then elaborate a little bit more for us in case we want to be able to get a slightly bigger paragraph than what I just put in there. And you could see it. I mean, I can even stop it here. It's going to keep going. It's going to finish up the summarization. And it'll give us the option of inserting it or replacing the original notes, or you can just discard it if you don't want to look at it and just basically go back to what you have. Simple, very nice, and very easy. The gallery application has some of the AI functionalities as well. We're able to go in there. You just jump in the AI editor. We have AI reflection remover, the unblur, the AI eraser, and of course, AI detail boost, which essentially is upscaling the image and giving us a little bit more clarity, especially if you've done some edits or if the image is not so clear. Now, the keyboard itself packs in a lot of features. It's very nice. And again, as I mentioned to you guys, it has a magnetic connector on the bottom. It is, when you close it, it does close on itself like this. It does have a Bluetooth functionality once you disconnect it from the tablet. So when you first get it and you connect it to your tablet, it will charge from the tablet. There is no USB-C port on here. And then once it's done, it'll also pair via Bluetooth to it, so in case you disconnect. An example would be right here. I'm actually sitting here, we're using the mouse. I'm actually using the mouse on the actual keypad, and we are able to interact, open up applications. We can actually swipe. We can also do gestures to do the screenshot, swipe down. If I swipe up, it just goes back home. Now, what I also like about it is, let's say I want to open up a Google Play Store. We'll let it actually load up. And let's say I want to run split screen. In the middle of the keyboard itself, I could just swipe down and I'll give it a second. I'll show you guys what it looks like. It does that little slice inside, and it allows us to open it up this way. I can go ahead and jump into YouTube, customize the experience, and of course go back, swipe back. And as you can see here, the connection works absolutely very nice, and it's very stable. Now, one of the cases that we looked at in here comes with this nice little magnetic kickstand. Now, the top piece will magnetically connect to the tablet, and the bottom one, as you can see, there's an opening for the little area here, the connection area for the keyboard. Once you connect it, at this point, all you have to do is put the kickstand into the right level that you want. You can even extend it as far back as you want to this level and use it as a computer. And this is one of the better options that we have in here. We have support for video output on the USB-C port, which means you can use glasses like the X-Real glasses, the X-Real ones that I have that can project a very large display complementing what we have in here. But I also love the fact that we are able to do some cross-device functionalities. So OnePlus devices, or OnePlus has released the display connectivity between two devices, and that was some time ago, which is definitely very appreciated. The nice thing about this, and I really, really want to emphasize the nice thing about this, is the interconnectivity. You'll notice there's a little bit of an NFC tag here. I get my OnePlus device, I unlock the phone, and all I have to do is put it on the table. And then as soon as the option comes up on my screen, I'll go ahead and hit start, and at this point my display is mirrored directly onto the pad itself. And I like the fact that I can actually interact with it here. I can interact with it here. And of course, anything I run on this device, let's say I go ahead and open up Reels. It works and it transfers absolutely fantastic. And I really like about it is that we can actually select the image directly in here. And as long as I can select it, you notice right there, it's right under my finger. I can actually swipe it over, bring it over to my tablet on here. And at this point, I can actually open up the image itself, and we can open it up in the gallery application. And as you can see here, the image is present. It's exactly what we have on our smartphone, and we're able to edit it, customize it. When we're done with it, I love the fact that I can transfer it back to my device. You can customize the experience in a few different manners. You can share your mobile data directly from your smartphone onto your tablet. We have screen mirroring, which is a very nice function. And of course, file management that allows me to actually see the file management here, the files directly within the OnePlus device, as well as my internal. I can transfer file from one to the other. The connectivity is absolutely fantastic. Very simple, very easy. From there, you're able to basically use it again. Again, as I mentioned to you guys, you can go directly customize the experience. And if you want to be able to do something, let's say it's taking too much of your screen, you can minimize it. Very nice and very simple. Again, customized, easy, simple. The nice thing about this is actually going to work also on Oppo devices in case you have a device like that. It'll connect directly using the NFC, and you'll be able to mirror your display. Now, I do want to mention here, before we go too far, I did talk about the gestures that we have supported in here, the shortcut keys at the top, but we actually have a dedicated AI function to be able to summon Gemini directly on the keyboard. So it's very nicely organized and set correctly to be able to leverage the power of Gemini, either by launching it from here, the ability of using circle to search, which is a typical function that we can use. So we can just swipe up on the top and then launch it from here. And then of course we can actually circle, figure out what we want to look for. My favorite feature, or my favorite way of really launching, a lot of people always ask me, where do I get my wallpapers? So go ahead and launch it, we'll highlight it. And of course, as you can see, the easy way to say it is just go ahead and take a screenshot of where we are here, and you can find exactly where to download that image and find even better images than what we have here. Now, the folio case that they included here is very nice. It's an origami style folio experience on the back of it, where you're able to customize and fold the actual configuration on the back in different ways. You can make it into the triangle form, and of course, just allow it to sit down. Actually, I just realized I did it the other way around. You put it on the back and it sits very nicely, and it gives you the ability of customizing what level of folding experience you want. The nice thing also about it is it allows you actually to cover the pen on the top part of your tablet when you're closing it, as you're seeing with that quick demo that I'm just showing you guys there from my table outside. And it just works absolutely fantastic. I really love that OnePlus's attention to detail is very much present here. From using the folio case, from using the keyboard case, or even just using just the standard accessory pack that you get. Now, jumping into the camera experience, as I mentioned to you guys, we have a 13 megapixel single shooter on the back and an 8 megapixel shooter on the front. We have the ability of doing photo, video, night mode, and selfie, and of course more under the QR scanner, time-lapse, as well as panorama. And of course, when it comes down to the video experience, 4K 30 is going to be the best that we're able to shoot on the main sensor on the back, and 1080p 30 frames per second on the front-facing sensor. So let's go outside real quick and do a quick test of the front-facing and the main sensor on the back on the brand new OnePlus Pad 3. So we're going to start off with the front-facing camera here on the Pad 3. It's an 8 megapixel camera sensor. Now, yes, we have the Snapdragon 8 Elite, but the experience here is capped at 1080p 30 frames per second. That's going to be the best resolution we can shoot in the front. The main sensor on the back is a 13 megapixel sensor that can give us 4K 30 frames per second. But this should be a pretty good example if, let's say, you want to jump on a phone call, you want to do a video call, or just even record a quick audio and video clip like what I'm doing right now. This should be a good example of what the audio and video is from the brand new Pad. Now, my recommendation would be obviously is never to use an entire tablet to do long form recording. Use the OnePlus 13. It has some amazing cameras on the front as well as on the main sensors in the back. Let's switch over to that main 13 megapixel sensor here on the OnePlus Pad 3. Now we're shooting with the main sensor on the back. 4K 30 frames per second, as I mentioned, is the maximum resolution. The sensor is actually a little bit better than what we get on the front. It's a 13 megapixel sensor, and the accompanied options that we have in here are going to be primarily done for just general shooting and maybe including a video call or something like that. I still believe that if you're pairing this with a OnePlus 13, your best bet is to shoot the content on the OnePlus 13, and then because you have that multi-screen connect between the two devices, transfer that data and edit it on the larger display here on the Pad 3. Leverage the power of each device to give you the best experience. But again, this should be a good audio and video example of the 13 megapixel sensor on the Pad 3 and the 4K 30 frame resolution that we can get from it. Now, when it comes down to the audio experience, as we talked about before, we have quad speakers, two on the top, two on the bottom, both on the right and left side of the tablet itself. It's going to sound really, really nice, especially if you're using the cases, as it allows it to stand on its own and you don't have to have anything kind of blocking it. But because of the quad speakers that we have and because of the size of the tablet, it's actually able to produce very nice, very rich sound as well as a very loud sound. So we'll go ahead and play our favorite song, Alex Crindo Jumbo by NCS Release. Again, as our favorite time, we're about 50 seconds into the song. Let's go ahead and listen to them.
Jack it up.
No question, this is going to be one of the best sounding, one of the better sounding tablets that we were able to pick up in 2025. Very nice, very deep sound, great for content consumption. Even if you want to be able to edit, you'll be able to hear things exactly. Video calls are going to look absolutely fantastic as well as sound great. I wish we had 4K on the front-facing sensor, but an 8 megapixel camera does have its limitations. The 8 Elite is more than capable as far as actual hardware-wise. And I think that's what we really get the benefit of here. The horsepower, the battery power, as well as the large, beautiful display that we have in here. Again, 144 Hertz will not disappoint. OnePlus obviously is giving us a full-screen display. The game is optimized. A lot of the applications that we have in here, X, Instagram, Threads, all of those are very much optimized. We do have definitely still that nice little side launcher that we have. You're able to customize the experience between Pro Gamer, Balanced, or even Power Saver. Customization with the music player, as you see here, brightness control, notifications. But one of my favorite features would always be system status. And this allows me to actually see the status of what the frame rate is on the display, the GPU performance, as well as the CPU performance. And we can also launch our screen recording from there. The game here runs absolutely fantastic, 120 frames per second at launch, with having the best experience on Ultra and having medium graphic quality. So Ultra gives us the 120, absolutely pushes it there. And if we can find games that are optimized to 144 Hertz, this will definitely be able to complement it. You can put it in 144 all the time, or you can basically configure it to be on automatic mode as we have it right now. And as you see there with the gaming experience, Call of Duty Mobile had no problems running on there. There is not going to be an issue here when it comes to gaming. 8 Elite, with the amount of RAM and the amount of storage that we have in here, will give you enough space to not only download content, save videos, save music, play games, and do everything that you want. My personal preference here, obviously, is the way I've had it. I loaded it up with Netflix, Crunchyroll, of course, downloaded a whole bunch of content definitely for trips, so I actually enjoy and do work on it. But I also love the fact that I'm able to take pictures directly on my phone, transfer them directly to the tablet very seamlessly. Again, you just have to tap, and you can actually also initiate that pairing functionality directly within the notification panel. But the function is so nice that you can turn it on, connect it, share the internal storage between the two, share internet between both the tablet and the phone, edit the content on the phone, on the actual tablet, send it back to your phone, and then upload it directly to the cloud. You don't have to worry about looking for, a separate data connection for your tablet. It's leveraging what your phone is able to do on the go. And a nice thing about that is that it works also, again, as I mentioned, with Oppo devices. If they're running the latest software, you'll be able to leverage that same experience. Cameras, I'll probably say overall, as you saw there, the videos are pretty decent. 4K 30 on the main sensor on the back, 1080 30 in the front. I think for tablets, at the end of the day, I'm always going to say, if you have a smartphone in your pocket that is definitely capable of taking those shots and videos, shoot with that and then transfer it to the tablet. OnePlus makes it so much easier to do that, to take the content from your OnePlus 13, 13R, depending on which one device that you're using, transferring it to your tablet, do the things that you do with it, because you have way better cameras on here. I'm not trying to knock down the cameras on the Pad 3, but from an experience for video chat and just general images here and there, it's not going to have any problems. But for serious photography, I think the OnePlus 13 can knock it out of the park for you guys. So with that being said, at the end of the day, what is the OnePlus Pad 3 by comparison to the previous generations? It's a larger offering with a more powerful processor, a bigger display, a better display. We also obviously have a bigger battery to help us last longer, different performance profiles to be able to do that. But I also feel like because of the way the OnePlus, basically the Pad 3 is leveraged and the spacing and where the hardware is sitting, the Snapdragon 8 Elite can actually run better here because the thermals are going to run way better for you. And what essentially that means when we're running Geekbench 6, just for point of reference, that's actually able to hit 3,130 on the single core and 8987 on the multi-core. And that's in balance mode. I wasn't even running it in performance mode. So keep in mind that the experience that we're getting here is leveraging how OnePlus always loves to give you the full power, the full potential of what you're using. So the tablet won't disappoint. The sound experience is not going to disappoint. The battery life is not going to disappoint. The accessories that we have in here are going to work really, really nice for you, especially if you're wanting to do more and be more productive with it. I think multi-screen functionality, split screen is super easy with the keyboard. Just do a 2-finger swipe straight in the middle of the keypad and it automatically launches that. You're able to basically run multiple applications using the side dock functional option there. There's a lot of things that have been built in here from OnePlus for quite some time that we've seen on their foldables, we've seen it on their standard smartphones, and of course their tablets are leveraging that. The ability of connecting or managing or running basically connectivity directly to your Mac is available for certain devices. It is really nice to be able to do that when you're not able to be right next to your PC, but you still want to leverage the power of your PC. And it pretty much works almost like a VM experience. You're able to see in to your Mac and be able to control it with the keyboard, the mouse, and of course, and this is very nice because this is the first time we're seeing it on OnePlus devices and it works really nice. But again, it depends on your current experiences. And again, more functional options will be added as time goes on. OnePlus is not only committed to this OnePlus Pad 3, but it's committed to making it better as time goes on. So at the end of the day, let me know what you guys think of the brand new OnePlus Pad 3. Have you been looking for a bigger, more powerful tablet that not only features the Snapdragon 8 Elite, but also runs a very nice and very fast UI experience? At its core, it screams speed. Again, what OnePlus has been known for is basically in here, embodied in the OnePlus Pad 3. Like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.